Traditional thinking and sabermetric thinking would have us believe that the fastball down is a much more productive way to use that tool. It's got that good downhill angle. It's harder to hit down at the bottom of the strike zone. It gets more ground balls. And so therefore that's the best use of that tool. It's going to minimize damage when the ball's at the bottom part of the strike zone. I'm gonna show you a few examples, and then you can kind of tell me whether you agree with that. This is a fastball down and in, homer. This is a fastball down and in. This one is a really special one that kind of really highlights one of the reasons why the down fastball makes 0 sense, almost zero, not quite zero. But watch what happens when his front hip starts to open up and starts to turn. Look at what's happening to the hands. They're still going back, which is creating a tremendous amount of stretch in his lead arm and in his abs. Look at the amount of torque that's going on right here, because he's got hips going one way, hands going the opposite direction, and that's creating a tremendous amount of torque. But here's the reason why the bottom of the strike zone produces the highest exit velocities. The front arm locks out almost always on a ball that's down at the bottom of the zone. The reason is because his hands are trying to get to the level of the ball. That's just natural tendency, is that your hand-eye coordination, wherever he perceives the ball to be, that's where his hands are going to go to. They can't get there at the bottom of the strike zone. So what do? They overextend. And when they overextend, they lock out. And when they lock out, they produce the highest exit velocities. Plus, you have more time to react. Plus, you can't hide anything else off of that fastball. This is one of the few that were hit in the middle part of the strike zone to the top part of the strike zone and done damage that day. You would think that I'm collecting these over long periods of time just to show you my point. Every one of these are in the same day, 2 days ago. These are all damage or lineas that are outs that ended possible big, huge innings. Not all of them are homers, but they're all damage. They're all base hits, doubles, homers, all on pitches at the bottom part of the strike zone. There's a reason why this keeps happening day in and day out. There's also a reason why you're not seeing all kinds of pitches at the top of the strike zone, fastballs that are getting crushed up there. It's because it doesn't happen very often. It happens how often I'm showing it to you today. There's 2 or 3 of these that are fastballs that are kind of up. The rest are either all down and or away and end up in the bleachers. One day's worth of balls on the outside part of the plate and or down. The reason? He gets more time. You get more time. If this ball was on a tee right here, you'd have the tee right there to hit it to this area on this pitch. If the fastball were in more, he'd have to hit it all the way out here in order to pull that ball down the line. And in order to hit this ball to the opposite field, he'd have to hit it all the way back here. So those are 3 dramatically different contact points. Each one of those takes time for the bat to reach. When you throw the ball down and away, or one or the other or both, you're giving the hitter more time to react. You're giving him a better chance to have this happen, this extension, this complete lockout extension. When that happens, that's when the ball jumps off the bat the best. And it happens over and over again at the bottom part of the strike zone, on the outside part of the strike zone. I'm not sure what numbers guys are reading that tells pitchers that the down and away spot is the premier place that's going to minimize the damage. Because again, this is 1 day worth of highlights. This is not weeks and weeks and weeks. So let me ask you this question. With hitters like Miguel Cabrera and Jose Abreu, would you rather have them hitting the ball with their hands next to their chest, and hitting it off the handle at 35 or 40 miles an hour? Or would you rather have them extended with the business end of that loud talking stick down at the bottom where all those pitches are? And your pitch is going downhill like you were taught. Their swing is going uphill like they were taught. That's a head-on collision waiting to happen. So all of the accidental contact is happening at the bottom of the strike zone, not at the top of the strike zone. This is an out, but this was one of those balls that was crushed. Extreme down and in, ball's killed. Down and away. And it'd been like 360 at bats or so before this hitter had hit a home run. Down and in. I think that's a cutter because it's at 91 rather than a true 95 or 6 fastball that he normally throws. But again, it's at the bottom of the strike zone. Bottom of the strike zone. How come we're not seeing all these balls at the top of the strike zone crushed? What we're seeing is bottom of the strike zone fastballs crushed. Bottom, away, down and away, away, crushed. Great play, but still crushed. And when you look at the slow-mo close-up of this, it's very telling. Full extension, completely locked out. Front leg, off his backside, completely extended because the business end of this stick is down here. That's where the ball is. That's where his barrel needs to be in order to get that extension. Billy Ripken did a great breakdown of Cabrera, and he showed it from the aspect of how hard he's working on his craft, which is exactly true. But my question is where are the pitchers when they watch this? Ball after ball after ball on the outside, outside, outside. Turns on one on occasion. Outside, outside, outside. I'm not sure how many in a row this is, but this is a tribute to his hard work and to his brilliance. But this is a slap in the face to the guy who's continually trying to throw it down there, and the whole slew of people that are telling him that's the best place to throw it. It makes absolutely no sense. You can use a shovel all different kinds of ways, but digging is the very best. Well, I guess depending on the situation that you're in, it might be a great weapon as well. But a fastball is designed to make guys late. It's designed to make them speed up. This is not. This is a medium fastball. This is the slowest version of the fastball possible. Down and away is the slowest version of that fastball. And not only that, when this pitch is heading like this, slider pops over it. Curveball pops way over it. I can see everything that's a strike after I see this pitch. That line does not hide any other strike. So it's all by itself. So deception is out the window. You've minimized deception by throwing the ball down and away. You've minimized the speed by throwing it down and away. You've made it closer to all your other off-speed pitches. So you've allowed hitters to be able to take their 5 or 6 miles an hour of adjustability and put it in the very best use possible. So until we understand that, we're going to continually throw pitches in line with the bat, down where accidents can happen, at the slowest speed, at the lowest deception that are physically possible. Just saying.